Hi, this is Josh from MYOB Enterprise Solutions. This video is a look at the business event features in MYOB Advanced. With business events, you can monitor the MYOB Advanced system and automate business processes when certain events occur. These processes can include sending notifications to customers or internal staff, or updating records automatically. Setting up business events allows you to focus on what matters, taking away the tasks that may fall through the cracks. Setting up alerts to remind staff or clients of when a particular activity is overdue, or alert staff when an action needs to be taken at a specific time, gives you more time to concentrate on furthering business success. Take the stress out of administering the routine of mundane events and focus on the tasks that matter. You can set up new business events on the Business Events screen. To better understand how the setup screen works, we'll go through an example that illustrates the various options. In this case, we'll set up a business event that sends a push notification to a salesperson as soon as an opportunity is assigned to them. The first thing we need to select is the type of event, which determines how it's monitored. Selecting the Trigger by Record Change type means that the system will monitor a set of records and run any time the data in one of those records is changed. This can include when new records are created. Selecting Trigger by Schedule means that the system will look at the records on a regular schedule, say once an hour or once a day, or at the end of the month or financial quarter. Our business event will need to check opportunities whenever one's added or edited, so we'll select Trigger by Record Change. The records that the business event will monitor are defined by a generic inquiry, which you select from the Screen Name field. This field offers all the generic inquiries that have been set up in the system. You may need to create a new generic inquiry specifically for the business event, as I've done here. If you do create a new inquiry, make sure that the inquiry includes all of the fields you'll be checking to see if the event should fire, and all of the fields you'll want to use in the processes that the event triggers. So for example, because we're going to want this event to trigger a notification to a salesperson, its generic inquiry needs to include fields like the salesperson's name and contact details, in addition to opportunity details. You can also select whether to trigger an event for every record that meets the conditions, trigger one event to cover all records, or trigger the event once per group of records where the records are grouped by one of the fields in your generic inquiry. For this example, we set it to trigger for every record that gets updated. Now we're ready to set the conditions that will trigger the event. For events triggered by a record change, you can monitor the state of all records, or the state of one or more fields in each record. You can set conditions on the contents of the field, and you can even compare the state of the field before and after the record change. You can enter multiple conditions joined with logical AND or operations, making the triggering conditions as simple or as complex as you require. For this example, the trigger conditions need to say that when a record is changed, the system should look at the new value of the owner field in the opportunities table, and if it's now populated, i.e. not null, trigger the event. Once you've set up the trigger conditions, the next step is to go to the Subscribers tab and define the processes that will occur when the event is triggered. You can add multiple subscribers, each one relates to an action that will be performed. 3 types of subscriber are available. An import scenario subscriber uses an import scenario to update records in the system automatically. An email notification subscriber uses a notification template to automatically send out an email. And a mobile push notification subscriber uses a mobile template to automatically send a push notification to a mobile device. As with the event's generic inquiry, you can use an existing scenario or template for these actions, or create a new one specifically for the business event. In our example, we'll need to add a mobile notification subscriber with a mobile template that uses data from the generic inquiry to identify the salesperson and include details of the opportunity in the body of the message. And that's it, our business event is now set up and ready to use. The example we just saw used the Trigger by Record Change type. Now let's look at an example of a business event that's triggered by a schedule. This event checks all accounts receivable invoices once a day, and if any invoices are due in 15 days, it sends a reminder email to the customer. The event uses a generic inquiry that brings in data from the invoice, customer and contact tables. It also sets a condition so that only invoices with a balance greater than 0 will be monitored. There's no need to check invoices where nothing is owing. The trigger conditions are set to check the due date of each invoice that matches the generic inquiry, and trigger the event if the date is 15 days from today. For events that are triggered by a schedule, you don't need to specify a record operation to monitor, just the fields and what to check them for. The event uses an email notification subscriber to send an email to the customer using a notification template. This template includes customer and invoice data from the generic inquiry and includes a copy of the invoice as an attachment. For business events that are triggered by a schedule like this one, an extra Schedules tab is also available, where you can set up the schedule that defines when the event will run. Here you can see the schedule that will run the business event daily at the time we specify. The possibilities of business events are too many to list. You can automate all manner of external and internal business processes, saving you time and effort. That concludes our look at business events for now. Thanks for watching.